Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing this December, the 17th, 2024 daily cryptocurrency, XRP, and Bitcoin blockchain technology video. Remember, if you want to support the channel, you can become members of Jabroni Killers for just $2.69 a month, an industry cheap, best value to support the channel to keep these daily cryptocurrency videos coming. And I do have a Robinhood link, the cheapest and easiest and quickest way to buy 20 of your favorite and growing XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Cardano, Shiba Coin, Peep Coin, and the rest of them, along with my Coinbase link down below. Those are the two official sites and approved sites Old Vincenzo trades on to help support the channel and keep these daily cryptocurrency and XRP videos coming. And if we go into the full screen, we can see the Bitcoin price did make a new all-time high on the wick the other day, roughly $108,475.78, which is just below our next target that we have up here at $112,000. Let's put that back. Try to get that to 112. I don't know, right about there we go, 112,000. And then we have a long-term target, maybe potentially by the end of 2025 or into 2026. And you say, old Vincenzo, that's crazy, 300,000. But you could take it from the swing low after our mountain double top and our 50% flush up into our rising channel that we were in. And then we consolidated into this falling channel, which turns into a bull flag where you have the rising price, the down and sideways consolidation with the lower lows, lower highs, and this channel formation, and you would bring that to the point of a breakout from down here to up here to the point of a breakout, which was right about there. And that gets you all the way up there to our $379,849 target. And that's what we're going to watch out for the next 1 to 2 years. Could there be a 40 or 50 or 60% correction in between there? Just like we have always seen historically with Bitcoin after they breach new all-time highs by a large amount. That is often the case of what happens. And you can see we did top out at that $108,000. We have our major underneath support of $89,000, which is our last big recent breakout, and then our consolidation below it, and then we broke out again. So that's your major short-term underneath support. Your major long-term underneath support is the 74,000 and the 78,000, which is our support on the rising channel that we broke out of. So those are two things that we're watching, but still we haven't really confirmed below in the hour time frame or the 4 hour time frame, a confirmed below the really even the 50-day moving average, but for sure the 100-day moving average in blue. And as long as we stay in the 4 hour time frame or the daily time frame, the three major moving averages, and you see we haven't even been close to any of the short-term moving, the short or long-term moving averages ever since we got down to ever since we got down and we broke out back here in late October, early November, when we broke out of that falling channel in late October, we haven't even been close to the moving averages. So as long as you don't flip below any of those moving averages in the daily time frame and confirm it, you are still short and long-term bullish, and that's what we are on there. If we look at Bitcoin dominance, you can see Bitcoin dominance continues to rise now, and it's getting ever so close to that 58.55%. Bitcoin dominance, we're currently sitting at 58.01. And what often happens is as Bitcoin dominance is rising, the altcoins sell off and people take profits and stick them in the Bitcoin. But what often happens at the beginning when you see a big flush in Bitcoin dominance, like we had here recently from about the end of November all the way in through the beginning of December, let's put that on here. What often happens there is people start selling their Bitcoin profit or some of it, and they start putting their money in the altcoins, and you often see an altcoin rally. And that's what we did, in fact, see. And if we look at the XLM price, something that we've been short term bearish on ever since we had this great phenomenal pump. And you can see what we're talking about. Look where most of this pump happened from. It started to break out on Trump's day, but then as we got into the end of November and the beginning of December, we had our big pump, and now we've been consolidating in the XLM price ever since we had our 7 to 8x move. And we've been short-term bearish, old Vincenzo has anyways, long-term bullish, but short-term bearish ever since we were in here with the falling volume down there, right? You see that? You had falling volume and our up and sideways price, and it failed on its first chance to breach its major short-term high of 63 cents. We've been following this as short-term bearish as any little spike, and you can see all the sell volume that's taken over. Red sell volume, red candle volume, and green is buy candle volume, but most of it has been sell volume. So we've been short-term bearish, and we've been targeting this 22.5 to 32 cents right along the moving averages, right? And you can see the moving averages are starting to level off now, but each day they are slowly trending up until they level off. And uh, right now the 50-day in red is at 34.5 cents. The 100-day in blue and the daily time frame is at 25 cents. And the long-term moving average is at 19 cents. But in the daily time frame, I am targeting on the next breakdown. If it does happen, I don't know, you don't know, only the coin gods know exactly where it's going to go. But those are the areas that I'm targeting on the short term underneath uh, consolidation on the moving averages if you do break down. And you can see again, after we've had another nice pump this morning and last night, we came up from our swing low the other day about 18, 19%, but we are still again now starting to trade down. And those are the underneath areas that I'm paying attention for. And that 43 cents is a major, major area to confirm and break below it. And I think we would come quickly down to that 34 cents, which would be a healthy consolidation, but nonetheless, something that I'm watching. The same thing with XRP. We became short-term bearish on XRP, even though we've had a phenomenal return from a local wick low of about $1.89 last Tuesday to swing high of 44% in the matter of 6, 7 days. And the volume has also drastically declined here. And I still think we could retouch that $1.90 again. And if we do break below that, if we go into the daily time frame, we can see on the short-term bearishness, we could be trying to come up and actually touch these moving averages in the daily time frame. And in today's time frame, the $1.68 is the short-term or 50. The dollar 25 is sitting right on the major underneath support, which was a big wick high back here when we hit it. And then we consolidated into this nice triangle bull flag formation before we broke out. That is a major underneath support. And then the final support is the long term or the 200-day down at 95 cents. Not thinking we're going there, but I could see a $1.68 to a $1.25 range if we did get back below the $1.90, which we did wick just below it very quickly, and then the buyers ferociously came back in. And those are the shorter term or the longer term moving averages. I do think, as I still do think, even after this most recent pump, after we had this big dip and consolidation back here between the 9th and the 12th. I still think in the short term we're bearish and long term bullish, but that is something that I'm watching out for just to try to keep you ahead of what's exactly going on in the short and long term. But if we do get some enthusiasm and do break out to the upside, $3.35 would be an all-time high tying, and that would be your next major overhead target. But I think it's more likely right now that we come test between the 190 and 125 range or retest some of those short-term and long-term moving averages. If we look at ALGO is the same thing. It's been continued bearishness here. We'll let the chart load. After we got rejected off of this 52 cents, we weren't able to force our way to 90 cents. The volume has drastically declined, just like some of these other altcoins as the Bitcoin dominance has been rising. And the 35 cents is a short-term major support. And then if you breach that, you would come really quickly down to 23 cents. But on the flip side, if you can break this regional high in this green resistance box at 61 cents, you would pump straight up to that 90 cents. But if you do notice, look at where most of this algo pump came from. It started back here with Trump, but look at what it did since about two-thirds of the way through November. We went from about 19 cents all the way to 64 cents. and that's at the same time Bitcoin dominance was declining. The same thing, what I wanted to show you with XRP, look at where it made most of its move. It started making its move with the Trump, right? But then you got to mid and late November, right about here when Bitcoin dominance started to fall, and we pumped up a final 160%, right? Very, very quickly as Bitcoin dominance topped out and we had some slight sell off for a couple of weeks. That's when these altcoins really started to make their move. If we go look at XDC, we can see it came up shy of that major resistance zone on the upper end right here at about 12 cents. And we got rejected at a regional high of about 10 and 3/4 cents. And if we continue to trade down, what we've been mentioning is to watch out for the daily time frame, uh, the moving averages, right? And the 50 starts at 6 cents and the 200 ends at in the daily time frame at about 4.5 cents. And that's something that I'm watching out for with XDC. Zill, somebody asked a question on that. You can see we did get harshly rejected now at the 3.75 cent level. And if we continue to get rejected, the area just like ALGO and just like the other coin we just talked about, the area that you would want to stay above and keep supported on is about the 0.02 cents. Or if you break that, you do become short-term bearish, right? The Dogecoin is the same thing. It's been in a topping out pattern. The volume's been falling and now and leveling off. And if you continue to level off and fall, I could see a pretty big fall in the Dogecoin, baby. The elusive Dogecoin down into these moving averages is what you would want to hold. And the long-term moving average of the 200 and the daily is down there at 21 cents, right? And if we go look at some news, that people were talking about with the XRP, thinking it was going to have a quick catapult up based on the RLUSD stablecoin. That was not to be the case today. Ripple in a digital asset and payment system technology developed by Ripple Labs. The project was created in 2012, providing fast, reliable, and scalable solutions to global money transfers, particularly for the financial institutions and banks. Ripple offers fast and low cost transactions using its own uh, distributed ledger called the Ripple Net. Ripple enables real-time transactions, only taking only a few seconds with small fees. The cryptocurrency is used with Ripple's network to provide liquidity and facilitate transactions. And now XRP did release the RLUSDT, which is a stable coin that is supposed to be pegged 1-to-1 to the US dollar. But like Tether and some of these other ones, we'll see if they actually, over the long term, really do that. XRP markets, XRP makes comeback on RLUSDT or USD launches. Shiba Inu has no ground under its feet. Solana downtrend. Uh, Satoshi about surpasses Bill Gates, 20,000, uh, a bunch of Shiba coin, but that's something that we're watching out for. And the price action that we're going to pay attention to on these daily XRP and cryptocurrency and blockchain technology news. Hit that like button, hit that follow button to you, my lovely, beautiful audience. Peace and love.